are you all? House is a little chaotic. What'd you do? Oh, he's pretending that it's his phone. They don't have to. So I'm making dinner. We have karate belt promotion tonight, but I'm making dinner for afterwards. As you hop on, tell me where you are. Tell me who's here. A lot of times it doesn't show me who's popping up below. But welcome. My name is Marissa. If you're new to this community, I'm going to talk about how I try to sneak in veggies for my kids to eat better, because when I started this journey, I realized that what I fed them was mostly sugar packed crap. So this is how I'm starting this. So I take zucchini and I shred it with a potato peeler. That's crazy. The third. And then I kind of layer the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the cheese, the meat. But something that I'm trying today actually is I have spaghetti squash cooking in here. Sorry, my kitchen is a mess. But so I have spaghetti squash cooking in here, and I cook it with garlic and olive oil. Some people cook it upside down. I don't. But this is how I sneak in vegetables for them. Now they are kind of used to it. Like when we have tacos and stuff, they put lettuce and tomatoes and avocados on their tacos. But at first, even for my husband, like I was sneaking in vegetables even for him. I'd make meatloaf and I would shred spinach in a blender. I would shred spinach in a blender and something else so that he wouldn't taste it. And that was even for my husband, guys. Like where our bodies are so adapted. Sorry. Our bodies are so adapted to the amounts of sugar that we consume in a daily basis that we don't pay attention to, that we get so used to it. So anyway, this is the bottom. I don't know if that's how you do it. I don't know what I did with the cheese. So a little bit of ricotta cheese, cottage cheese, which isn't actually bad for you in what I do. It's a protein form. I do use whole wheat crackers and Himalayan salt, which I don't even think I put in. Pink salt. What? Yes? Can you say hi?
Hi, Fishy.
Hi, Fishy. Can you say
hi, Pet?
hi?
Fishy, Fishy.
Yeah, but I'm cooking. So this one probably is the most tolerable of vegetables. Like he loves broccoli, fruits a lot, especially. I don't know if it has anything to do with like what I ate when I was pregnant, because it was a lot different than what I ate with the other ones. But again, like I don't feel like we're educated enough. We aren't really. Can you open that? That's tough. We aren't really told. You want some? Making dinner with a 2-year-old. So much fun. So yeah, so again, I take zucchini and I shred it with a potato peeler and make it into thin slices, because I do use lasagna noodles, just not as much, and I use the whole grain ones. I don't use white pasta. The only white pasta we use is like stuffed shells. So then I mix all this together with 2 eggs, some Connor.
Sorry, I got it.
What happened? Did you break it? Uh-oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. cottage cheese, ricotta cheese. Go play with your brother. And then I'm gonna spoon, whatever you call it, a little bit, and then make sure. But this is something that they actually like enjoy for dinner. And this is also like the same thing I use for stuffed shells, except I noodle the zucchini and cook it before, and then I stick it inside of the cheese, the filling. I am also going to be taking some of that spaghetti squash and mixing it in with the cheese. And it's just another vegetable for them. I did that last week. We had chicken parmesan chicken, whatever you want to call it. What? What do you need? What do you need?
I get you.
Here. I'm not carrying you. I'm making dinner. Say hi.
Hi.
Go get a diaper. I got ginger milk. Go get a diaper.
I got it.
Okay, go do your stuff. Make sure your homework's done. This I use like chicken sausage or ground turkey. You don't have one of these doohickeys? They're amazing. They're like a lifesaver, and it grounds up your chicken way easier. No, dog. So then I'm gonna just layer this on it. I don't know what to do with the pasta sauce. But yeah, so this is what, how do you guys, like, do you try to hide your veggies in your meals for your kids? Like, I never really thought about it until I started working out and eating better. I hated vegetables. I'm not saying I actually enjoy them. Actually, maybe I do now. But when I first started, ugh, God, the thought of salad was horrendous to me. Like, now I eat a salad every day, actually, in a bowl this size. I don't know why, just I do. Okay, so now I'm gonna put noodles on. But how do you hide your veg? Like, so here's the thing, like, our children are actually, from a study that was done and a doctor that I was listening to, their life expectancy is less than ours. That's kind of sad, because of all the crap that's in the food that we eat, are given or fed. And we're so prone and taught to just look at calories and that's it. We're not like necessarily like, shoot, what's on the box? I hate noodles, they're a pain. So yeah, so hi Diane. I cut zucchini with a potato peeler, and I'm layering it in the lasagna, and I'm also making spaghetti squash. I'm going to shred it and I'm going to mix it in with the cheese and crackers. And this is something that I've done for a while. It's not new, but it's something that I've consistently introduced to them, because it is not like I learned, and I felt that it was no longer just a diet thing, it was a family thing. You know, take it off? Why do you have that helmet on? Crazy kid. Do you want me to help you? Come here. Did you get a diaper again? Look at it. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, go take it off. Put it back in the bag. I have to get the pasta sauce. So yeah. So, and then marinara sauces, I usually look for the ones that are no salt added. I mean, it's pasta sauce. Some of them have a lot of sugar. There. Dump that in there. And then luckily I have another one because I totally thought I had more donuts left over. Okay, so that's how, that's another thing is like, so it's so easy for us to not pay attention necessarily to what we're eating, what this comes out of a box, because it's made for convenience. But at the same time, we're not like doing what's best for our kids. Like when we're pregnant, right? Like, well, we're not formally very well educated, but when we're pregnant, they give us all these things that we shouldn't do, should eat, should heat up, shouldn't heat up. Might have too much this, might have too much that, right? And in all actuality, like, why do you keep putting this on? Alright, Danny, go. But it's crazy to me that we're not given any more than that. And actually, to be honest with you, like the pouches that have come out for children with the veggies and like the fruits, I know some people have had like issues with them, but I actually like them because, and I started using them with Danny because they had servings of fruits and vegetables, and it was an easy way to get them in.
I got it.
Yeah, good, because I didn't drop it. So it was a good and easy, quick way to get it in, and they actually like the flavor of it because they do a good job like blending the flavors. I think. I didn't think they were that bad. Some of them just taste like applesauce, and there's like quinoa and kale and superfoods, and I think that was a brilliant idea, and that was a great thing to come out with for kids because it's so hard to feed. I mean, to feed them these things, to feed them vegetables and fruits. And I feel like veggies are harder than fruits. I don't know if it's because of the color or what, or because we start feeding them. Am I doing this right? Because we start feeding them too soon. All the crap food. I don't know. It's crazy. So today I was talking to and kind of being like mentored myself about eating and the different stages of eating, and something that I didn't. So I was there's real hunger, like you eat when you're really hungry. There's that, and real hunger isn't something that just real hunger is like slow, steady paced, comes on, right? Like something like binge eating. Hi Carissa. Something like binge eating comes on heavy and strong. Or like say, so like when you start a program with me, I always recommend that you start with something. We'll make a meal plan, or you do like some way to stop taking in the crap sugar. Because when you're drinking, what? You what? You're stuck. Stop putting it on. When you take in that sugar, your body doesn't really account it for calories. So when you start eating differently, like more vegetables, more greens, more whatever, your body kind of goes through like a withdrawal. So the binge eating and the sudden cravings, like I'm starving but I really want a cupcake, is not hunger. It's you know, like withdrawals from sugar. It's craving sugar or carbs, like bad carbs, which is how your body reacts. So I was talking about emotional eating and binge eating, which is what I am recovering from and what I did. And We are so quick to run from pain, run from fear, run from feelings. Like, we're so afraid of our own feelings. And so many of us, like, we talk about like how we're not true to ourselves, and we are not who we really are or what we really think. We don't say it, we keep it suppressed because we're not really sure what other people think, and blah blah blah. Like, we suppress our pain with food. So when you suppress your pain with food, you're an emotional eater. And if you are overweight, 90% of America is emotional eaters. Whether they are foggy, like fog brain eaters, where they like eat a bag of chips and they're not really sure how it disappeared, or they are binge eaters, but we overeat, which makes us overweight, and we're not eating out of real hunger. So for me, it was binge eating and stress eating, emotional eating. And so I was talking and I got to thinking, like, are we so afraid of change because of the pain that will be revealed, because of the emotion that will be revealed, that we're hiding from, that we're suppressing? I don't know. I was just thinking about it. And maybe I think so. I definitely think so. Because you change as you go through this journey of self-love. You become a different person when you go through this journey, because you're realizing who you are, you're realizing your thoughts, you're leaning into your emotions and unpacking them and dealing with them instead of suppressing them and eating them. And that's like a huge thing, right? So like depression, anxiety, like those are all emotions that have to do with emotional exhaustion, like of so many emotions going on at the same time. But we are so apt to just eat so we don't have to feel that pain, right? We just eat so we don't have to feel the pain of, or the misery of not liking our job, right? Like, we don't like our job, but when we get home from work, we'll eat a pint of ice cream because of the misery of our job. So we'll never actually we'll never feel enough pain to take the action to change, right? Like, does that make sense? I don't know. In my own head, it makes sense. I don't know if it actually does. But in my head, or like my journey, totally makes sense. But yeah, so I think maybe we, as humans, like, we all have pain. We're human, right? Like, we have pain, we have emotion. If we didn't, we wouldn't be human. If we didn't have pain and we didn't have emotion, we'd be like serial killers or something. Like, because, come here, I'll help you. Because we wouldn't have good job. We wouldn't have a contradicting emotion to go with the good emotion. Like, things can't be good all the time. They can't. It just won't happen. So we're gonna go through pain, we're gonna go through hurt, we're gonna have problems, there's gonna be so much going on. There's gonna be negative things that happen in life, but we need to learn to lean into that pain instead of eat that pain, if that makes sense. In my own head, this completely makes sense, because this is something that I've dealt with for so long. And this is how I guess I have healed. And it's no longer about like my attachment to food, or just, not wanting to feel the anxiety or the stress or the misery or the hurt or the pain of the day, or, I would look in the mirror and I wouldn't like what I saw, I wouldn't like who I was, so I would eat. And that wasn't productive, right? So I didn't feel my pain of being ashamed long enough for a very long time to actually take any action towards doing anything, right? So people deal with this in abusive relationships. They deal with the pain from food. Women talk to me about this a lot, and it's very deep and it's very important to them. And they open up about it but it's real, right? Like, that's a pain that they feel, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's verbal. They have gotten to where they are, where they're not happy with themselves, and they know they're not happy with themselves, but they're dealing with a different outsource of pain, and they eat their way through it. And it's sad, and you just try to get through it. You just try to get through that pain with food. And then we try to, with talking with these women, we try to work on opening up how they feel, opening up what's going on in their mind, opening up the emotion, because we all will have emotion, and we will all feel the emotion, and it's okay to feel the emotion. So I think that's something that we have to learn as a community, as a country, as a society, is that it's actually okay to feel your emotions, your pain, your fear. It's better, and you're actually living when you feel your emotions instead of eating your emotions. I hope this is helpful to you, and I hope that I'm making somewhat of sense to you, because when I talk to myself, or I talk out loud to a friend, a mentor, we agree, and it makes sense to us. But our journeys were similar, and I'm assuming, I'm sitting here assuming, that most people who emotionally eat, their journeys are similar to mine. And that's why I do this. That's why I do what I do. It has nothing to do with exercise, even though that's like an outlet to make you feel good. And if you feel good, you tend to do the right things. If you feel good, you have more confidence. You tend to do the better things. But it's more than that. It's more than just working out. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. If you found it helpful, like, share with your friends. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're watching the replay, type replay below. And thank you for watching. Have a good night. Bye.